Rod and Style Television presents The Blue Martian, starring Zac Park, along with his 1928 Ford. Watch as he restores it into a 1960s East Coast hot rod. From outer space.
So since we cut the rear frame rails and added our own, angle's a little bit different than where it was. Just doesn't line up, so do a little clearance cut there. I planned on cutting that whole piece off all the way across anyways, so to me it's looking pretty good. That might be sitting on the transmission, but there's nothing I can do about that right now. I'm gonna leave that bar in there until I figure out how much I want to channel it anyways. Okay, the back is now sitting where it was because I welded these cross braces in, my dad and I did, to get it the exact same level it was when we took it off. So right now it's close to being the exact same level because it's sitting on the transmission on the front by maybe like 1/4 of an inch up, but the back is sitting completely how it was. So everything comes down to where the bed has to go because of the fenders. The fenders are going to determine where everything shifted, how high everything is. My goal is to get the top of the bed flush with the top of the door. That looks the best, but we'll see how it goes. Bring the bed up in the front, but if I cut those ends off and just made a mount back there, it's actually a pretty good height. The suspension's sticking out just a little bit, kind of looks kind of cool. Kind of a T look, high bed in the back, but everything comes down to the fenders. Just gonna find something to put underneath that bed. This dent. This is the left side. I was like super worried that I make the dent in the trailer. I couldn't remember. So I remember that dent. Whoops. Wow, these fenders are up high. Let me get some 1/4-20s and bolt that on. Looks like the bed needs to come down. I want it to be level, which is close to being level. So I wanted these two lines to match up. It's a little bit high right now. I mean, I need to move some stuff around, but, and it's not straight side to side. I need to fix that side to side. I just threw it on though, so I can start eyeballing everything. What I like is the big raked Model Ts, you know. So it kind of has that look, big raked Model T. Just need to get the bed down more. Then possibly channel the body down some. Maybe I can just level it off that way. So what I like about these tires, where they're the max tires that I could get on here and fit inside the fender wells. So as you see, if it came down in the back, it can go more forward in the front. They'll make up for that gap. So now it's just time to cut on the body. It's time to cut on the frame to get rid of my frame rails in the back. Actually start lining this up, making it look like a truck. so check out how I'm going to mount this bed. I'm going to reuse the old brackets for the hood. This was riveted onto the frame and it held the hood hinge. What I'm going to do is I got this square tubing. I'm going to weld this across the frame. Then I'm going to weld this here on the bottom of the tubing and just cut off whatever's extra here. And this will give me 2 1/4-20s on both sides of the back of the bed. And it's also going to be adjustable. So we have the slots already made here for adjusting the hood. So what we're going to be doing is having it, I have everything just about exactly where I want it right now, and giving me this much adjustment of up and down in the back. It'll just help me hone it in when it's finally said and done, gas tanks in, all of that good stuff. The bed will be adjustable. I haven't figured out what I'm doing in the front, but I have the bed rake where I want it. I have it even on both sides, so it's time to lock it in the back, then lock it in the front. So I'm going to drill a hole and actually bolt these into the back of the bed. Then wherever this bar has to go on the frame, I'll just weld it in and weld it onto my little bracket. Okay, so here's my 2 hood hinges bolted in with 2 1/4-20s, 4 1/4-20s all the way across the back. So I think that's pretty sturdy. I could get grade 8 ones just in case. I probably will. That doesn't cost any money at all, so I'll just get some grade 8 ones later. And I'm going to put this bar, weld this into the frame, and weld it down to my hood hinge tabs. Then I'll have a 1/4 inch of play up and down if for some reason I get this together later and I just need to get it on here and adjust it. So I think that's nice. This pipe is a nice thick pipe, so I mean I don't really need structural frame structural here because I have this awesome cross member right here, but still it's going to give me you know, some kind of bit of strength behind here. My gas tank's going to go up there. It's going to be recessed in the floor in the front, so I'm not worried about any space here other than putting the battery. So what I plan to do is have the floor completely flat right here above the frame rail. Instead of notching it down any kind of fancy way, it'll just be flat. Then I'll have an original cross member cover out of a Model A, so that'll be there. That'll look nice flat. Then up here it's going to recess down into my gas tank because I have a 10-gallon gas tank that has a sending unit and all that kind of stuff hooked up to it. So I think this is a nice area where it doesn't matter. I'll just kill the space. It's not going to do anything for me. But what I plan to do with this floor is have leather pleats. So this will all be covered in leather pleats. So I'm just going to fill this in with flat metal leather pleats, then a steel cover right here for the cross member, original Model A cover. So that's my idea. That's how this is all going to work. And I like this. I like that the bed is somewhat adjustable. I think that's a good idea. Side to side, up and down, everything will move around. So didn't mean for that to rhyme. But let's get this welded in now. Okay, so now that I have everything square, all I have to do is just put front mounts in. The front mounts that I'm using are the original cab mounts for the very front of a Model A that's on this frame. So we're using everything that I cut off as much as I possibly can. These are good solid mounts, nothing wrong with these. And they're got to stick up quite a ways to get to this bed. So I don't know if you could see that from that view or not. But what I'll do is I'll weld these in where I want them to be. Then when I take the bed back off, I'll gusset them back down onto the frame. They'll be just as strong as anything else. Then my gas tank will mount right here. So this should be way more mounts than original Model A bed, that's for sure. I welded a little washer to this so I can have that step here, so when I take the bed off, I'll cut the washer off. That's gonna bring this down and make it even with this, since they are stacked in this Model A bed. We have the floor, we have the front that's stacked above it. So that's what's gonna make up for my difference here. Because if I push this all the way forward, it'd be in front of the bed and I wouldn't actually be grabbing the bed in its entirety. So. Have these welded into the frame. Like I said, I'll take the bed off and I'll gusset these so they're nice and strong. But they have this really big rib down the center of them, so they're probably pretty strong as they are. But I do everything overkill. I do everything overkill, so later on I don't have to worry about it. So now we have our floors for where the gas tank's going to go. This whole area is going to be step down for gas tank, then it's going to step up and just be flat all the way out the back. That's what I plan to do. Let's just see. I can always change stuff, so we'll just see how it goes. I'm going to put this plate here just to fill the gap for now, and I'm going to set this gas tank in here and see what it looks like. Okay, so there's my gas tank. It's a 10-gallon. These are actually made for T-buckets to fit in a T-bucket bed. So I thought it'd fit on this pretty good. We have a rollover vent that goes here. This is where our sending unit goes, fill cap, and that's the outlet for the fuel. So I'm gonna put the outlet on the passenger side because it's a small block Chevy. This will go right down to the frame rail all the way forward to the mechanical fuel pump. I plan to run a mechanical fuel pump just because they're quiet. I hate hearing the hum of an electric fuel pump. It's just one of my things that drives me crazy. So the fill is kind of in a weird spot. I'm gonna have to lean over the fender on that side to fill this up, but I'll leave a towel in here or something. I'll throw a towel over it and fill it up that way after I paint it. Right now, no worries, but now you kind of get an idea of what direction I'm going in. And I want this to sit flat in here, so when I make my cover, I don't have to worry about it hitting anything on the gas tank. I'm gonna have a snap down cover that's just pleated, really heavy pleated cover that goes right over the top, because the firewall is gonna be pleated, the bench seat's gonna be pleated. When this is done, it's gonna be pleated to death. It's kind of one of our fun ideas. So I think that'll work out good. Then step it right up and go over. I don't know how high I want to go. I talked about putting that cover. I think that would look nice. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But all in all, this is all going to get covered up either way around with my pleated cover. So I can see what direction we're going in. All right, so that does it for this episode of the Blue Martian, guys. I'm happy to get the bed solid, bolted down. Next, I'm going to be doing the floorboards. The transmission's in. I got my drive shaft set up. I don't have it done, but I have my yoke. I know where everything's going to go, so I can put a floor in this now. I'm super excited to get a floor in this. That'll actually make this body solid again and not just have two square tubing holding the whole thing together. So awesome part about that is the square tubing is welded in right where the frame touched. So when we set this body down, it went right back to the original stance of the Blue Martian. All I want to do is make sure that the angle of this bed is the same angle on the cab, whatever I need to move to make that happen. So, very excited for where I'm at, the progress I'm making. Thank you guys for watching. I want to thank our sponsors, Millworks Hot Rods, for giving us this rear forelink. They've been awesome, this rear cross members theirs. I want to thank Boling Brothers to make this awesome frame for us. So, I can't thank the sponsors enough, guys. We have more coming, more we want to show you, more cool stuff, more cool products. So catch you next time.